Hello, I'm Karen Elgersma at the Maritime Museum enjoying the new exhibit, Creature Comforts, and you're watching Go Island on Shaw TV. On today's show, Dan Kahn tries a unique form of therapy, and we check out the Deep Bay Marine Field Station in Nanaimo. And James Green discovers that there is a hybrid golf club that can help your game. All that and more on Go Island.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network.
Hello, thanks so much for joining us on Go Island. Today we are taking you to the Maritime Museum, where you never know what tales you might hear. And today's tale is all about the animals of the sea, the animals that join the different boats, the different sailors across the sea on journeys. I am telling you, I think this is one of my favorite exhibits of the year because I am an animal lover. But I did not know some of these stories of over the last 100 years, how people would bring parrots and tigers and all sorts of animals aboard, and the stories that sort of came out of it. So let's begin with the title of the exhibit here at the Maritime Museum.
Okay, well, the title is Creature Comforts.
Yes.
And it is an exhibit, like you said, about life at sea with animals. And the exhibit came to us from the CFB Esquimalt Naval and Military Museum. And we were really pleased to support them with their traveling exhibit. It's a really fantastic exhibit. It shows a little more of a whimsical side of life at sea.
Yeah.
With, like you said, a wide variety of stories. My favorite is a story about a monkey.
Tell me about the monkey.
So the monkey is a funny story because in 1956, there was a sailor who captured the monkey in Singapore. Well, actually, he purchased the monkey in Singapore, and he brought it on board the ship thinking it was just a really cute little animal. And then, as the story goes in his journals, he was talking about how the monkey immediately became quite mischievous and would run around the hammocks where the sailors were sleeping, often obviously disrupting them and even peeing on them while they were sleeping.
That's awesome. So I guess he was up to his monkey business on the ship. I mean, that's the thing is you never know what you're gonna get when you get an animal like that, because they're not really trained and they may be cute, but you are stuck with them because you are on a boat. And that's what makes some of these stories so fun, right? Is it's not like they can just say, oh, I don't like this monkey, I'm gonna return it. The stories really come out because they have days to hang with these animals. This is very cool. This would scare me, I'm just saying right now.
And I think, to be honest, it actually did scare quite a few of the sailors. They had an order to bring 2 lion cubs on board a ship. They were taken aboard on a suitcase, and within a couple of days, they realized that these lion cubs were no longer cute little cubs. They had actually grown quite large, and the dog on board would scamper away in fear, as probably many of the sailors, when these lion cubs actually grew to a full size. And the sailors quickly built a cage and actually had to enclose them for safety reasons. But they did make it safely to the other end of the...
And ended up in a zoo on the other side, is that right?
Yes.
And of course, the reason they ended up on the boat was because they'd been abandoned by their mom. Probably the mom had been killed somehow. And it was the only way they would survive is to get to a zoo eventually. So it did have a happy ending.
Yes, it did.
Speaking of animals, our very own Dan Kahn is starting his own show. It's going to be called The Kahn. I am very excited about it, but he's a bit nervous, so he thought he'd go and get a little therapy from an artist. It's a very squirrely story. The Kahn will be coming to you on Shaw TV this fall, but don't worry, Dan Kahn will continue to bring us fantastic stories right here on Go Island. And today, Go is sharing some really amazing creature comfort stories at the Maritime Museum because a very special exhibit is here today. And it will be going on right until October
4th.
Nice. So please take some time in your schedule. It is such a cool place here.
Thank you.
I often think that people still don't spend enough time exploring all that the Maritime Museum has to offer. It's a little bit of a hidden gem in Victoria.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Now there's so many fascinating stories. One of them is actually quite an intense but amazing sort of phenomena. Tell us about the rabbit.
Well, there's a story about a rabbit who came on board one of the wartime ships, the HMCS Haida, and it actually had this really uncanny ability to detect enemy subs when they were coming along. And there's a story that was written in one of the sailors' journals that the rabbit actually would jump around in his cage when the enemy subs were near, and he became so reliable that he was able to announce the presence of enemy subs before their sonar detection actually did.
This wise bunny may disagree with this next factoid, but apparently we know more about outer space than we do about our own oceans. And maybe that's why the Vancouver Island University is investing time and energy into learning more about our ocean. And that Lucas has that story, and of course it's our Arbutus RV Big Summer Story. Thanks for that story, Annette. We are here at the Maritime Museum checking out their new exhibit. It's all about animals on boats. And the stories are amazing. Tell me about the story about the twin bears. That is apparently this is a local Esquimalt story.
Yeah, exactly. There was a HMCS Thiepval ship that was coming from Japan, and they actually brought with them two twin bears. Sadly, the other twin did not survive, but the story goes that the sailors actually built a tree house for the bear when they came back to the Esquimalt base, and they often were seen taking the bear to the bar, carried on a chain.
Apparently bears are chick magnets. Oh, what a cute bear you have. Oh, thank you. I love it. I can just see it already. Can't you just see a bunch of sailors at the bar with a bear?
Yeah, that would be quite a story.
We have to take a quick break, but please stay with us when we come back. Kim Rock with all your local concerts and more right here at the Maritime Museum. Thank you for that, Kim Rock. We are here at the Maritime Museum, and I love this exhibit because it's all about the pets, the animals that had just awesome experiences on some of the Navy ships over the last 50, 60, 70, 80 years. Just crazy stories. And of course, everybody loves exhibits like this of all ages. But one of the cool things you have going on is a real interactive area. Tell me about that.
Yeah, one of the things we really wanted to do, and we want all of our exhibits in the future to be, is very interactive and support intergenerational learning.
Cool.
We got the current exhibit, Creatures Comforts, from the CFB Esquimalt Navy and Military Museum.
Yes.
And our programming staff is awesome, and immediately thought of a really unique way to bring some interactivity into the exhibit. So they developed and created by hand this nice floor puzzle, which you can see the boys putting together now, and they're actually quite fast. These guys are pretty efficient.
They're amazing, and it was funny because there's a picture on the wall so you could see what the puzzle will look like in the end, but the kids haven't looked at the picture once. They're just like building it, by just going and looking at the edges. Amazing. And there's also books and an area where the kids can sit and hang out, and that's the thing. When you come as a family, it really is an interactive museum, isn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yes, we do have quite a few interactives throughout the exhibit. We're making that a priority for the future, and we are planning to update and renovate our children's activity decks so that it just increases the interactive abilities for our families. Again, like I said, we really want to have families think of us first when they're looking for things to do for their kids.
And if you want to be a pirate, this is a good place to come, isn't it? Yes, there's so many opportunities to pirate out here at the Maritime Museum. We have to take a really quick break, but stay with us because when we come back, James Green is going to give you some tips on how you can grow your golf game. Thank you, James Green. That hybrid golf club is perfect for an amateur golfer like me. Having so much fun at the Maritime Museum today. I mean, the pictures in this exhibit are so incredible. I love historical photos. They feel very rare and special. How long is the exhibit on for?
The exhibit will be up until October 4th, so I encourage all of you families out there, kids of all ages, to come and explore the Maritime Museum until that date.
Absolutely. And of course, you can come anytime to the Maritime Museum, but is there anything else that we can dream about as we look into Christmas, November, that might be happening here?
Yes, there is. We have an exhibit on the Convoy PQ-17 and the Requiem that is being played and performed at the Victoria Symphony in November. So in middle of October, come back to the Maritime Museum. There will be a really interesting exhibit that explores the artistic process that is behind the Requiem that the Victoria Symphony will be performing in November.
Is that ever cool? I did not know about that. Amazing. See, that's why you have to come to the Maritime Museum right in Bastion Square, because you learn something every time. I want to thank you so much for watching, and if you have any thoughts, feedback, ideas, you know where to find us: Facebook, Twitter. We have a website. You can email us. You can say hi to us if you see us anywhere, including right here at the Maritime Museum. Thanks for watching.
Go Island is brought to you by German Auto Import Network. Men's Wardrobe by DG Bremner & Co. Menswear and accessories. Hair services provided by Salon J.